What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Tax Practice Revolution. What's up? My name is David. If you guys have not watched this before, what I do here is help you go from where you are, tax professionals, bookkeepers, CPAs, EAs, and grow your practice in the way that I know is the best, which is today, advisory. You see, if you've struggled with growing in the past, I'm here to tell you by watching today's episode, I'm going to share with you how to get out of the tax season grind. See, if you've been in the tax business, like I've been for the last 16 years, you've probably seen a lot of things. And a lot of those things keep you frustrated, overwhelmed, burned out, feeling like stress. And especially as we run into a new tax season. And today's topic, I'm going to be talking about how to have the best season ever. See, we've always operated in seasonal businesses, or at least I have in this tax business. It's always January through April, and then October, September, and October. These are seasonal times where many people come into your offices, call you, schedule appointments, meet you over Zoom, and they're like, hey, I need help. And it's usually to solve a problem, which is filing. And those problems are great because they give us money, they give us customers, but we love helping people. But the challenge is that enough money and enough opportunity? And so this year, I want to help you prepare for the upcoming season so that you can have, maybe right now you're stressed. I can't take that away, but I can tell you this could be the last stressful season you'll ever have if you follow these next 3 steps. So let's talk. If you're a tax professional who's gearing up for the season, you probably have a lot on your plate right now, right? You're probably thinking, oh, I need to hire people. Oh, I need to train on the new software. Oh, I need to get update training on tax stuff. Those are big challenges that are in front of you right now. And you've got to plan on getting new customers, reminding old customers, handling bank products, or understanding where you are in the process of any of that stuff, or just going through life. And to top it all up, you got holidays coming. So how do we handle all this in the preparation of this year's tax season? Well, number one, first and foremost, we have to understand that our attention is so valuable and we should focus our attention on the most important thing. A good example of this is I was talking to a tax business owner just recently, like today, who said, David, one of my biggest challenges right now is that I have a lot of clients coming in the first year. They file over 1,000 tax returns. And some of these clients want a refund advance. And that's a huge deal. Refund advances means they get a refund. And that means they can get an advance of that refund based on using bank products. And these clients are demanding bank products, and the bank that they used to use is saying, we're not doing it this year. So they're stressed. She's like, hey, David, what do I do? I have over 300 clients who get an advance. What do I do? And I'm like, well, let's be real. Let me help you. Let me walk you through what I walked her through. So let's be real. What's the biggest problem? Well, if they don't get the advance, they won't be happy and they may not come back. I said, okay, what's the likelihood that they all won't come back? Over 300. Will they not come back? She goes, maybe. I said, really? Do you think every single one of those clients will never come back? And she says, probably not. I said, what's the worst? Give me the worst number. And she says, maybe half, 150. I said, okay, so 150 clients will say, screw you, I'm done. She says, yes. And I said, how many of those 150 do you think have been with you more than 3 years? And she goes, probably all of them. I said, so you're thinking that all your clients, half of your clients that get this refund advance will just disappear because you didn't do this one thing. She says, yes. I said, okay, well, I'll go with you, but I don't believe that to be true. And I said, but what if they all leave? Would you be out of business? She says, no. I said, so why don't we focus on what we can control? We can't control this, but maybe we can control our attitude. Maybe we can control what decisions we make to keep the ones that are going to come back. There's still, if we only lose 150, we still got 850 to go. So we get ready for this tax season. We're getting ready, and she's telling me these stories, and I'm just like, boom, boom. I'm kind of dodging all these challenges, these stressors, these frustrations. She's like, what about people, David? How do I find the right people? The number one reason tax professionals can't find good people, if you're a business owner, you always say they're not the right people, can't find the right people. You know what your number one reason is? You can't afford the right people. See, what the problem really isn't that you can't get good people. It's because you can't afford them. Because you can't afford them is because you don't charge enough. So let's actually go to the real root cause, charging more. So how do we charge more? See, right now you're probably thinking about my pricing for 2025, or like 2025, 24 tax returns. How do we think about pricing? See, she's like, maybe I should lower my price to engage with my customers and make them stay longer. I'm like, well, do we really want to lower our price, or do we want to deliver more value? Do you want to lower the price or add more value? And I say that because many of you are struggling with thinking your clients won't pay more. You don't need to ask them to pay more for the same thing. You need to ask them to pay more for more things. And maybe not more services, more time, more energy. What you want to get them to pay more for is for your expertise, your knowledge, honest truth, for your presence, for you being you. You see, they got to see you more valuable. See, what I realized is when I was transitioning from tax pro to tax advisor, this is what I learned. I learned that every time somebody saw me more valuable, they were willing to pay me more money. And unfortunately, many people won't see you more valuable if you don't talk about other things other than refund advances, bookkeeping cleanups, and tax filing. So when I changed my message and I was like, guys, I want to help you deeper. I want to be your advisor. People were like, what's that? And I'm like, look, I help people save taxes. I put strategies in place. I form companies. I do these things. Like, whoa, that seems complex. You're moving on up. I am moving on up and I'm worth more now. So now when I go from 500 to 5,000, you're willing to pay me, right? They're like, oh, I don't know. It's okay. You don't need everybody. You just need a few people. You see, I don't need you to charge more just because you want everybody to pay more. I only want you to get the people who want to pay more. You got to think about it this way. The people who will pay more are the people who you want. You see, if you increase your fees by 10%, let's say right now you have 100 clients, and out of those 100 clients, if 100 of them were raised the prices on 100, and let's say you raised it by $50, so you're going to make an extra $5,000 because you do this. But let's say out of those 100, if you raised it by 50, 20 of them said, screw you, David, I'm done. $50, can't do this. But the other 80 took the $50. You still made more money with less work. And now you can be more strategic with those 80 clients instead of the 100. And now you can become more valuable, which gives you the opportunity to be able to get and become the advisor they deserve. So, number one, let's make sure that we're ready for season, right? The season that's coming up, we don't need to stress over things. Only focus on things you can control. That was the first lesson. Number two, charging is not your challenge. It's getting more value to your clients so they can pay you more. And if you lose clients, who cares? Because you will become more valuable. And by the way, anybody who doesn't want to pay you more, doesn't value you, anybody who doesn't value you, let me tell you this. Let me give you this thing. If they don't value you, then you don't value them. Done. They're dead. They're gone. All right. Number three. To prepare for the best season, you got to plan for where you want to go, not what you got in front of you. So you think about it this way. Wayne Gretzky, one of the greatest hockey players in the world in decades history. Now, if you're not a hockey guy, I'm not either. I just know who he is. But they asked him, why are you so good? And he says, well, most people skate towards the puck. I skate to where the puck's going to be. So he's thinking ahead as a chess player would. I want you to think about where you want to be next year. Do you want to make more money? Do you want to have more time? Do you want to have good clients? And if you do, then you cannot stay stuck to the desk, the preparer's trap, as I call. You have to become an advisor. How do you become an advisor? You start prepping to be an advisor. You start thinking like an advisor. You start marketing it as an advisor. You start learning the things that are going to move the needle for you as a tax advisor in 2025. And what do? Step one, know this. You don't have to know all strategies to win. So if you're thinking that in 2025, you got to get a certification or you got to go to some course or training to be tax advisor certified, screw all that. That's not true. What you have to be willing to is to learn. And you can leverage technology like Tax Maverick, taxmaverick.com, change your whole game. Like you see the strategies there, the execution does all the work. It's killer. So number one, you don't need to know all the strategies. Number two, you got to find these customers. And right now, look, you're probably saying, David, all my clients, they don't do tax advisory. They don't pay a lot of taxes. I get it. I was in the same boat. But the problem here is there's some. Like if you have 100 clients, there's got to be one. If you have 10 clients, there's still got to be one that you could say, hey, I could help with advisory. And that's when you say, okay, even if I can't help them today, even if I'm not ready, even if I'm not prepared, can I get ready so that I can help them when I meet them, when I see them, when they drop off their paperwork, when they get to that point? Can I get them there? That's number two. And number three, am I prepared to charge what I'm worth? This is the biggest domino that most people have to get over because you've been doing this stuff for free. It's time to get paid. If you want to get prepared for 2025, you've got to know, get distractions out of your plate, focus on what you control. Charge more, be worth it. Get ahead, prepare. And lastly here, I want you to know, wherever your focus goes, your energy flows. And what you're focused on today is going to determine what your 2025 is going to look like. If you're here today, it's because you want to grow. It's because you're watching this today. I know you're a tax professional who has ambitions, who has goals, who has dreams, desires, and wants to get to another level. You know, I always tell everybody I meet who's in this tax industry, every tax professional I meet, I always say, look, you can do bigger things. You can make more money. You can have that freedom you want. It's just one decision away. You're one heartbeat, one eye blink, one decision away from changing your whole life. And if I can help you in any way, I'd love to do that, right? You could go to our website, taxmaverick.com, and check out Tax Maverick. It's a tool that'll save you tons of money. You can even try it for 14 days for free. We're not trying to make money off of you. I'm just being honest. You could do that. You can reach out to me and my team. We can see if we can find a way to help you or work with you. We've got a lot of things in the pipeline. I'm actually doing a training right now for tax advisors that are in this building. We have, I think, 26 tax advisors from all over the country who've come here today to learn how to strategically plan for 2025 and how to grow their tax advisory business, all going from tax pro to tax advisor in one visit, one click, one heartbeat. I want to help you. If there's any way we can work with you, I love it. If not, I'm wishing you much success. Let's go crush our 2025 tax year, tax season, tax everything. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching this. You are amazing. Looking forward to seeing you in our next episode of Tax Practice Revolution.